just gonna hang out for a second and let people hop on. When somebody gets on, if you can post a comment so I can just see if I'm going to be able to see comments tonight, that would be great. Okay, hopefully I'm going to be able to. Okay, if you're hopping on here, will you please post a comment so I can see if I'm going to be able to see anything tonight. If not, I will just address any questions afterwards, but hopefully I'll be able to see some comments. So can somebody say hi or something? I know sometimes lately Facebook has been really funky with being able to view comments during a live. Hey Victoria. Can you post a comment just so, oh, there you are. Perfect. Yay! Hi ladies. I was starting to think I wasn't gonna be able to see anything. So I'm gonna wait just a second. Hey Sarah. Hey Rachel. Let's see if okay. Hey Jennifer. Thanks for joining tonight. I'm gonna jump right in. I know it's later for you guys, but it's 6 o'clock our time. You're welcome, Vic. So we actually have some friends coming over for dinner tonight. Oh, thank you. And so I don't want to take a huge amount of your guys' time because I want you to be able to hopefully refer back to it if it's something that you found valuable or that you want to share with your teams. And I know that those hour-long trainings are just hard to get through, so we're going to just try to condense everything. I tried to make a few notes to make everything a little bit faster too, so we'll see. Hopefully you guys saw my post above where I started. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Dawn. I am an Orange Status presenter, and I'm actually right under Marty Mealing. So Marty joined the month before me, and I was her first elite. And so we have kind of learned this whole journey together. My 2-year anniversary will actually be on the 17th of this month. So almost 2 years that I've been doing this, and I love every minute of it. Thank you so much for having me on here, and hopefully something that I share with you will be valuable to you and it'll help you in some way. It is not a big secret from me. There's nothing, I don't feel like there's anything spectacular or special that I do, but apparently sponsoring is difficult for a lot of people. And so I'm just going to share with you what I do and what works for me, and hopefully for some of you it will be the same. You'll be able to use some of those things. Okay? So fear is really going to be a big part of our topic tonight. You have two options with fear, and I kind of posted that above. You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. And really it comes down to those two things. Which one are you going to choose? And I have made another acronym with the word unique, just something that works for me. Why is you have to find your why. It will be the only thing that will push you through to your ultimate goal. Now is the time. Run like the devil is chasing you and scream, I will never quit. Under no circumstances will I ever give up. This is my end game. So that's what Younique stands for me. And maybe that will resonate with some of you as well. So fear is the biggest that's what I find with my team, is the biggest thing that holds them back from recruiting, because honestly, they're just afraid to offend somebody. They're afraid that they'll be made fun of. They'll be afraid that, I don't know. There's just so many things that you can be afraid of. And I'll be honest, the first couple of times that I hit the send button, hey Melissa, hey Christina, it is terrifying. I was totally pitting out. You know what? Honestly, totally pitting out. But here's what it comes down to. You have to decide that your why is worth your discomfort. Okay? And so whatever that might look like for you, you have to decide why you're doing this in the first place. If you don't have a why, that's great. You are not going to recruit and you are not going to build a team. That's just how it is, period. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get a great discount on amazing makeup. It doesn't mean that you're not going to find some great wise sisters, but you are not going to grow in this company, period, or any company for that matter. You have to determine your why. And not only do you need to determine what it is, you need to write that thing down. You need to write it down and put it somewhere where you're going to see it all the time. My why, I'll just share with you briefly. I am a mother of 3. I have 14-and-a-half-year-old twins, and I have an 11-year-old son. I am married to a pastor, so we are very involved with our church and all the activities that go along with that. We have small group, we have Bible studies, you name it, okay? We're involved with that. I'm also a labor and delivery nurse, and I work 2 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So 2 days of the week, I'm basically non-existent. So I'm busy. I'm a busy lady. And for me, what I decided that I wanted was I wanted to be able to be my own boss. You can ask Marty. I do not like being bossed around at all. We kind of had to have a come to Jesus meeting when we first started because we didn't really know how to communicate. She was trying to lead me, but I didn't want to be led. And so really this is the perfect fit for me because it allows me to be in charge of my success. If I don't work, I don't succeed. If I work, I succeed. I'm in charge of my time, my effort, my energy, and my rewards. So that is huge for me. And what I want from that is to be able to retire myself from nursing and only go when I want to. In other words, I'll be occasional. So they can call me and ask me if I want to work, and I can say, I don't want to, or yes, I do. And also I'd love to retire my husband in the sense that he would no longer be required to take a salary from the church, but he could still do what he feels like God is calling him to do. Also, I don't want to miss out on any of my kids' things. All of my kids, my youngest is going to be in a junior high this next year, and my twins are almost 15. We don't have that many more years with them at home, and I don't want to miss any of it. I don't want to miss anything. And so for me, that's a huge motivator. I want to travel. I made a board, a dream board, and it may be more than what some of you would want to do, but for me, this sits in my office here, up on the wall, and you're probably not going to get a great picture of this because it's going to reflect, but I'm just going to show you. Okay, so I know you probably can't really see a lot of that, but it has on there family, travel, a beach house, things that I love that I would love to be able to do that right now are not really that feasible. We're getting there, but those things keep me motivated. They keep me hungry. They keep me incentivized. So decide what your why is, write it down, and live and die by it. Okay, so let's see. Without your why, you are going to quit at the very first sign of trouble because it won't be worth it to you. You won't have anything pushing you to expand your borders, to expand your comfort zone at all. So it's very important, okay? And here's another thing. I love this. It's from one of the audiobooks that I listen to, and I listen to so many I can't really remember. It might be GoPro, but decide to be a leader and not a distributor. So when you come up with your why, you also need to make the decision to be a leader versus Oh, thanks, Vic. A leader versus a distributor. And here's just a quick breakdown of what that means. When our mascara, our last mascara, was having all those issues, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. We had so many quote unquote leaders say, oh my goodness, this stuff is terrible. I can't use it, let alone sell it. We're gonna die. Literally, okay? They just gonna die. And then we had the other people over here say, I'm not totally in love with this product, but you know what? I've come up with a couple of things that have really helped me. I'm rinsing out my wand, I'm adding rose water, I'm talking to all my customers, and I'm being upfront and saying, hey girl, if you have any issues with this stuff drying out, you let me know, I'm gonna handle it for you. Okay, do you see the difference? This person over here is a distributor. They think they're gonna die when something goes wrong. This person over here is a leader. They're gonna come up with another way to be successful. That's a mindset. Anybody can do it, but it's hard. And so many people are unwilling to do it. So make up your mind what you're gonna do and then be a leader, okay? All right, let's go on. Second number thing, be a student. Constantly be a student. I'm in this page because I want to learn from other people as well. I'm in all the other leaderboards because I want to see what they're doing. Listen to audiobooks, read audiobooks, YouTube. I can't even tell you when I started this business. You guys, I had no idea. I had no idea. I didn't know how to do winged eyeliner. I did not know what contouring was. I did not know that you were supposed to put your concealer on in a V instead of right under your eye. I didn't know any of it. I YouTubed like crazy. That's what a leader is gonna do. They're gonna figure it out. You have to figure it out. We don't have time to spoon feed anybody. Okay, a leader has their own business to run as well. So you have to be a student. You have to be hungry to learn all the time, or your business will die. It's just that way. That's how it is. So if you want it, you're going to be a student. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing that's amazing. Okay, if you aren't a student, you are not going to be confident. Why? First of all, because you're not going to know very much about your products, and second of all, you're not going to know how the products work. Okay, those two things is do or die. You have to know what you're trying to encourage other people to use, and you have to know how it works. If you don't know it yourself, first of all, why would they want it? And second of all, why in the world would they ever consider doing it themselves? They're not going to. You have to be confident. And the only way to do that is to be a student. When I have somebody who's been in my company for 6 months message me and say, how do I get into my back office? Are you kidding me? How do you get into your back office? And they want to know why they can't sell something. Well, I'm just not even going to talk about that anymore. I'm just going to leave it at that, and this is what I have to say about that. Be a student. Okay, number 3, we are going to make a choice. It's going to be hard work. It is not going to be easy. But you know what? When I joined college to be a nurse, nobody told me it was going to be easy. Nobody told me it was going to be free. Nobody told me that I wasn't going to cry tears. None of it. Guess what they told me? They said, this is going to be brutal. It's going to be expensive. There's going to be nights you're going to cry yourself to sleep. But in the end, it's going to be worth it. Okay? You have to decide that this is what you want to do and that you're going to be willing to put some blood, sweat, and tears under it. It is worth it. But it is not for free. Whether that's time commitment, whether it's financial commitment, you name it. You have to decide how much you're willing to give to get what you want. Now, if you look at your why, and your why is as big as mine, you want to retire yourself and your husband, you better believe that's going to require some commitment and some dedication and some finances and some time. Okay, I didn't decide to do this and not talk to my family. I sat my husband down and I sat my kids down and I said, this is what Mama's thinking about doing. What do you guys, what's your opinion? What do you guys think about it? And I got the support of all of them before I dove in head first, because they knew what that was going to mean for me. Okay. It's going to push you though. Once you make that decision, it's going to be able to push you out of your comfort zone, and it's going to be able to cause you to take that fear and overcome it. It doesn't mean that your fear is going to go away, but you're just going to decide this is more important than my fear. Push the dang button. Okay, that's literally what I said to myself sometimes. Push the dang button. Is it worth it? If this person mocks me or sends me a snide remark or doesn't respond to me at all, is it worth it for me to hit my end goal? Heck yeah. And that's really what I've come to, ladies. And I think that's why I'm kind of a force with recruiting, is because I don't worry about those things anymore. If it means that it's going to get me a step closer to my goal, I'm going to do it, period. And that's what you have to decide. Okay. Be consistent. If you aren't consistent, I know you guys have probably heard this preached 100 times, but consistency is key. People are always watching. I mean, you might think that nobody sees any of your jazz, but I'm telling you, they do. I've had people 2 years later say, I've watched all of your videos, I want a kit. I had no idea, none. So consistency is key, okay? Set your goals and go after them like the devil's chasing you, okay? Do not give in. Number 4, this is huge, 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 huge. Number 4 is networking. Networking. Now, when I started, Marty and I started very close together, and it was like the blind leading the blind, like two little babies trying to help each other walk, right? And so we both earned the cruise that very first year. And while I was there, I picked the brains of people that I ended up sitting next to. 2 of those people were Kelsey, Stacy, and Billy Weck. I mean, just crazy. Like, I just happened to wind up sitting next to those people. And I picked their brain. What do you do? What do you do to be successful? And both of them, I swear, it was like they had been talking to each other right before I came along. And they both said networking. And I was like, I don't know what that means. What do you mean, networking? And they said, you essentially the same thing. Let's just talk about it. 5, 5, 5, okay? And the 5, 5, 5, 5, 5s can go on to infinity and beyond, but for me, essentially, that was adding 5 new people to my Facebook every day. That was offering the opportunity to 5 people. That was offering 5 parties to 5 people. That was following up with 5 people on my team. That was reaching out to do 5 follow-up. You know what I'm saying? It can go on forever. But you have to be adding people to your network. And whatever, hey Nicole, that's fine. And whatever your network is, I mean, most of us, I would say, primarily use Facebook, but I know that there's a lot of people who do Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram. That's great. Those are amazing. I suck at those things and I'm trying to do better about them, but honestly, Facebook is my main page. And so the day that I got off the cruise and I was sitting in the airport waiting to board my plane, I went back to all of my parties that I had previously run and I friended all those people. I think Facebook kind of locked me out after a while because I had like 800 friend requests out or something crazy like that. But listen, here's what happened. I went from having 300 people on my Facebook to almost 3,000. So what did I do? I increased my audience by 100%. Like I just, crazy, 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 right? You constantly have to be adding new people into your audience. And Billy said to me, it's like your storefront. If you have the same 300 people circling through your store every single day, not that they won't buy something occasionally when they need it, but they get a little bored, okay? You have to be increasing your number of people in your store all the time. And you have to be changing your store all the time to make it look a little bit different, to keep things interesting, right? And so that really stuck with me. That's a huge part of networking. And while we're talking about networking, remember that if your Facebook or your Instagram or your Snapchat or whatever you're doing is your store, how do you want your store to look? Do you want it to be clean? Do you want it to be a happy place? Do you want it to be bright? Or do you want it to be dark and depressing and filthy, right? And I'm speaking almost metaphorically here, but let's talk about this. Your Facebook is not the place to air your dirty laundry. It is not the place to use foul language and to get into political debates. Maybe it was at one time, but it is not any longer. Not if you want to keep customers. Because if I have the option of going to somebody's store where the person is happy and bubbly and they're constantly lifting you up, that's the store I'm going to go to. I am not going to go to the store where I'm going to get stuck in a political debate with somebody and they're going to curse and they're going to yell at me and I'm probably going to leave there crying and I'm not going to buy anything. Okay? So, happy, happy, happy. I don't care how you really feel at all. It's not going to go on your storefront if you want to be successful. Okay? You got to brand yourself and you want people, when they think of you, to think good things, first of all, and then you want them to think makeup lady. Okay, you want to be their makeup lady, and they're not going to pick you if Susie over here is also selling the same makeup and she's a happy person. Okay, that's that. Okay, remember with your networking, think outside the box. So many people get stuck on these 10-day party things, and really there's so many options, different ways to do things, okay? You can do a texting party, you can do an open house, you can do a dump the trunk sale, you can do house parties, you can do a 3-day party, you can do a 1-hour party, you can do everything live. It doesn't matter. You got to think outside the box a little bit and remember that as leaders, it's okay to do something that doesn't work the first time, because that's how we learn, okay? So if you do a 1-hour live party and nobody comes, well, maybe that's not your jam. You're gonna try something different next time. But we constantly have to be learning what works for us, what's successful, and then be open and willing to share that with the people around you, okay? Another way to network is to join other groups. Like there's mom groups and there's diet groups and there's food groups. I mean, there's groups for everything. You can get added into some of those and make some legitimate relationships with those people and build a rapport with them. And then naturally that will start to generate some friends who are going to be interested in what you do. Okay? So that's all networking. When you go places, for instance, when I first started this, I spent a lot of time at Starbucks. It was kind of my place where I could just zone in and work on my business without the distractions of things that go on around my house. And there may be 2 ladies sitting across from me who are just sitting there visiting and having a cup of coffee or whatever. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I should give them a catalog or say something, but I'm scared. I'm literally sweating and my face is probably red. But you know what? I did it. I talked to them. I gave them a catalog. They were super excited. They made an order that day, and that customer has been a faithful customer for the last 2 years. Okay, I see her in Walmart. Hey, Dawn, I still watch all your videos. I met her in Starbucks, a complete stranger. Okay? One thing that I am going to caution you on is just don't be spammy. People hate it. Last year, I did a lot of what we call cold touch messaging, where essentially I was just messaging complete strangers. I mean, I was friends with them. I'd friended them. They don't have a clue really who I am. And I would send them a completely random message saying, hey, blah, 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 and sharing my opportunity with them, right? And I actually got quite a few presenters out of that. But here's the thing. Shortly thereafter, the LuLaRoe craze and all of the other home businesses, It Works, LuLaRoe, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It kind of exploded. And they were all doing the same thing. So this poor soul that I had messaged probably had 5 other messages from 5 other companies, and it comes across really spammy, right? It's just not good. And so what we really need to be doing is creating relationships with those people that we're friending and then it's naturally going to come up, okay? You want to be commenting on their page. When you comment on their page, your stuff shows up on their page. So that is a better way. Let's build relationships with people, and we're going to share, not sell, and we're certainly not going to be spammy, okay? Last but not least, this is the most important. I almost think I saved the best for the last. Be excited, okay? If you can't be excited about your own business and your own opportunity, why the hell should anybody else be, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just going to put that out there. If you can't be excited, nobody else is going to be excited. I swear to you, I don't think I walked by a person or a person come into my house for the first year that I wasn't be like, oh my goodness, girl, come here, try this mascara. You got to try this mascara. It's amazing. Boom, done, sale. And most of those people are on my team, literally. And so when I have people say to me, how do you sponsor so many people? It's because I share with everyone. I am not a discriminator of unique sharers. I share it with everyone. Unless it's a 95-year-old on oxygen or grandpa. I share it with them, okay? And so be excited about what you're doing and believe in it. Be confident and be bold. You are offering something amazing to them. If you get to that point where you're going to ask yourself, what if I offend this person? Or, you know, what if, I don't know if Sally's really going to be interested. I don't know if I should, I don't want to bother her right now. Girl, you're not bothering her. You're offering an opportunity for something amazing. If she doesn't want it right now, she's going to tell you. But don't be afraid to offer it. And if that person's nasty to you, then that's not somebody you need to be friends with anyway. But honestly, in 2 years, I've had one response that I would legitimately call nasty. And it was completely uncalled for. I never even mentioned makeup, and she was nasty. Guess what? There's an unfriend button for a reason. I don't need that negativity in my life, okay? So, 95-year-old on oxygen, yes. And maybe even then, I mean, they need to look good too sometimes. Okay, and here's the biggest thing. Here is probably my biggest thing. This is how I sponsor. No does not mean no. Pretty much ever to me. If I hear the word no, I just think not open. That person is not open at this moment. But guess what? That doesn't mean they're not going to be open later. Period. I do not give up. I am like a bull in a china closet, okay? I'm just going to be like, oh, you told me no? They just got written on my hundreds list. By the way, if you don't have a hundreds list, you need that stat, okay? You need to write down every person in your life. Unless they're 95 and on oxygen, or they are like a bull rider or something very manly. They need to go on your hundreds list, okay? So no does not mean no. It just means they're not open. So I've had friends tell me no for 2 years. They're now on my team, okay? So no does not mean no. Be persistent regularly. If somebody tells me that, oh, not right now, but maybe later, I don't just be like, oh, she's just trying to be nice and she really doesn't want it. No. I'm like, okay, later, write it down. Next month, oh my goodness, girl, we just got this amazing kit. I know you said you might be interested at some point. Check this out. That's my personality. Be who you are. I'm kind of a sarcastic, funny, witty, bossy kind of person. And I use that because that's who I am. So I just get up all in their grill and then they just do it. I think sometimes they do it just so I'll leave them alone. My first elite, Tamara, she was like, no, 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 no. Oh, by the way, if you haven't read the book or listened to the audio of just go for no or go for no, you need to do that like now. Okay, so Tamara, she's like, no, 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 no. And then she's like, well, I just want the kit, but I am not going to sell. I do not want to be a seller. Don't push me. I'm like, okay. Guess what? She is going for orange this month. That girl's amazing. She is such an amazing leader. And had I not bugged the crap out of her, she would not be in this amazing company. She thanks me all the time. Thanks for just driving me crazy. And my other girl who's running for elite right now, she'll flat out tell you, she's like, I don't know how I know Dawn. I don't know how we became friends on Facebook. I don't know either. I just added her. And guess what? I bugged her and bugged her and bugged her and bugged her and bugged her until she finally got it. And she's amazing. Okay. Fortune is in the follow-up. You guys, if you're not following up with your customers, you are missing out on presenters. Okay, because when you follow up and you say, hey girl, did you get your mascara? How are you loving it? Is everything working? And they're like, oh my goodness, I am so in love, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my Pete, you're not going to even want to miss this. Check this kid out, blah, blah, blah. And you give them the whole spiel, right? So amazing. I get tons of presenters that way. I just had somebody come over to my house yesterday for some makeup advice. She really doesn't wear makeup that much. And I was flat out honest with her. I just said, hey, you know what? Hang on. I'm going to show you what I did. Okay. I busted out my purple bag and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is something I never want anybody to feel pressured to do. If you don't want 90% of the things that are in this kit and you're never going to use it, it's not for you. But if you want 2 or 3 of the things that come in this kit, you're going to get the best discount of any of this makeup that you can possibly get. And then I do this. Well, we have this $49 night cream, the $29 mascara, the $20 shine wipes, the $27 liquid lipstick, the $15 lip liner. You get the gist. I go through the whole thing and I'm like, but if you don't want all that for $99, that's okay. That's okay. Let's talk about what you really do want. Oh, you want the mascara and you want a lip liner. Okay, that's just going to be $900, right? I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So, a lot of the people on my team are quote-unquote kit nappers. But what I find is once they get that kit and they try all the products in it, they are devout Younique users, right? And they then start ordering on their own site. Hey, how do I start a party? How do I get my orders? Ding, 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 ding. And pretty soon, they might just come up. They might not. That's okay. But they might. Okay? So I don't ever discount kidnappers. Tons of my people are kidnappers. Okay? Have fun. Guys, if you can't have fun in your business, I don't know. I don't know if it's for you. Because if you're just not having any fun at all, then why would anybody want to join your team? You know what I mean? It has to be fun. It has to be something you enjoy. And then, what was one other thing I was going to tell you guys? I don't remember. So, lastly, basically what it comes down to is, are you going to let fear determine your success, or are you going to be unique? That's it. You have to just decide, and then you just have to go balls to the wall. Okay? That's it. Period. Your choice. Nobody's holding you back except for you. Just a fun little fact. Like I said, my 2-year anniversary will be on the 17th. I have 114 personally enrolled, and at this time I only have 1 elite. I have another working really hard, and I really think that she'll be my next elite, so I'm really hoping for purple soon. But yeah, so last month I sponsored 18, which was my my personal best. Here's another thing that might work for some of you ladies. I'm competitive. Like, ask Marty. I'm crazy competitive. Somebody tells me that we're doing a sponsoring contest, you better believe I'm going to be in the top if it's at all humanly possible. Last month, when I hit 18, I had surgery to have my appendix and gallbladder removed. I signed up 2 or 3 of my nurses, I think. And I still hit my highest that month. So, you know what? There's really no excuse except for you. It's just you holding you back. And you just have to decide if your why is worth it. And if it is, push the dang button. That's it. Okay, If anybody has a question for me right off the bat, I will do my best to answer it. And if not, please feel free to message me or whatever. Yeah, Nicole, you know what? So last month I had my appendix and my gallbladder removed at the same time. And the end of September I had a hysterectomy, a full hysterectomy. So I kind of been a hot mess lately. Okay. I am gonna go. I think my company is here for dinner, so I'm gonna go visit with them. But thank you guys so much for having me. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right. Good night. Bye.